Learn how to create a bubble plot in Plotly.js. In this lesson, we want to look at how we can create a bubble plot. And in the process, controlling our marker colors, the sizes are symbol dynamically in order to visualize multiple dimensions of data on a simple 2D grid. So let's just get on this. So let's move on and move into our boilerplate code. So there is an empty div here with an ID of my plot. You can give your ID any name. And also there's the CDN for the Plotly library that I've pulled in into my boilerplate. So let's just move into the script tag and start adding code. So firstly, let's make an X array. And we want to add just 4 elements inside the array. Then let's make our Y array as well. And this is going to take 10, 20, 30, 40, just 4 elements inside it. So now that we have had this, so let's make another variable. Let's call it anything, but let's call it trace1. And this is not just going to be a variable, it's going to be an object. So our x-axis will be our X array, y-axis will be Y array, and set our modes to markers. Then we'll also set our markers, which are going to be something that we are controlling by ourselves, and inside it we'll set color. And that's going to be red, green, blue, orange. It's actually orange. So now that we have this custom marker set, we can as well control the size and say, okay, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So we are going to need another one. I'll just come down from this and then add another object for trace2. Let's call it trace2. And inside it as well, we will have our X. I will pass our value 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to have Y 15, 30, 45, and 60. And also pass in mode markers. And then we are going to set our marker again here. And inside it, we are going to have color RGBA or RGB. Then we set it to just a random value, actually, to control our color display. All of this needs to be in a quote. So once we have this, we can also set our size. And finally, set symbol. And one circle, one square, one diamond, as well as cross. So we have this already. So now that we have these two objects, what is the next thing for us to do? So let's use the two objects to set our data. And so let's add trace1 and then trace2 as our data to our bubble plots. So now that we have done this, let's set out our layout. And our layout is simply going to contain title, plotting bubbles. And once you do this, it's now time to render our data. And you call the plotly library.new plot constructor. And then you pass in a plot, pass in data. And finally, pass in your layout. And check. We have trace1 and we have trace 0. You can see 10, 15, 20, 30, 30, 45, and 40, 60. Now look at the way we are controlling everything that is happening in this bubble. That is the flexibility that comes with being able to set our own marker, being able to set our own custom color, size, and symbol. So this example displays two different data sets called traces, traces1 and traces2, on the same chart grid to show off how customizable plotting markers are. Now see trace1. The trace1 has variable sizes and color. Plot for bubble that grow progressively larger. Look at it. Small, big, bigger, and bigger. So it's progressing simultaneously. And we have trace2 with a variable symbol. It's plot for standard blue marker on the same size, but swap their shape sequentially from a circle to square to diamond and to cross. You see, circle to square to diamond and then to a cross. So plotly, you can plot multiple data sets on the same grid by putting each data set in its own object, usually called a trace. So this is like a standard when you have different data sets that you want to plot. So it's usually called a trace, and then grouping them into a single array. So each data set is going to be represented by a single array that is grouped into a trace. And then you can see size of the size of what we have. You can see 20, 30, 40, and 50. So instead of passing a single number to one set for all dots, we pass an array of numbers. So plotly maps these sizes directly to our coordinate points. And the first bubble is 20 pixels wide, and the last one is massive 50 pixels. You can see it. So it's massive 50 pixels. It's massive, as you can see it, and bigger than the first one. It's 50%, 50 pixels wide. And we are also passing in color. You can see red, green, blue, and orange. And just like size, passing an array of color string, tell plotly to color each individual bubble differently. And lastly, symbol, circle, square, diamond, and cross. Passing an array of symbol name changes the actual shape of each coordinate marker from a standard circular dots to square, diamond, and crosses. So this is how you can create bubble plots using plotly.js library in JavaScript.